In my YouTube life, I will never be able to escape from The View. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We're going to go to The View because they cover the Joe Rogan podcast and try to do some fact checking. So
you know who made a campaign stop on the Joe Rogan podcast Friday night. And with all the issues Americans are going to be voting on, you know where they started the interview?
It was the episode of you when you were on The View. And I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
Okay, let's stop there. There's a lot of fake news coming up, so we're going to clear some of it up as it happens.
Well, I'm going to clear you up as it happens too, because I think we're going to end up making some great points on each other.
He was actually, in that clip, is 2011, 4 years before he announced he was running. That's the first thing they got wrong.
Now, that's fair that they technically got it wrong. We did not get that wrong. I said that clip was from the early 2000s, but I don't think that's a sick burn enough to hit someone like Joe Rogan. The point, you'll see that the point still stands.
Next.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
So here's the actual appearance. Watch.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add president of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to. Please, let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
Now, that is a kiss. She did give him an air kiss. But to be fair, my Hollywood agent always gave us an air kiss. It never meant anything. So just because she did give him that hug and kiss, I think it's Whoopi makes a fair point here, and Joe Rogan got this one wrong, that the show overall was positive to him and just being normally congenial to a guest.
We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy.
Well, we love it.
So Barbara was her usual polite self, as she was with every guest. But did I look warm and fuzzy? Was that a warm and fuzzy welcome from her?
I mean, that looked warm and fuzzy for Whoopi. That's a fair point that she was not warm and fuzzy to Donald Trump on that episode. So let's move on.
They're talking about you in such a favorable light.
Honey, Joe.
Now she calls him honey. That too is fake.
So I have not really had much to say until he started running for president.
And that's where Joe Rogan is right. She's making it sound like she's clarifying things. No, that's what we were always saying, is that she was much warmer to him before Trump ran for president. And then once he ran for president, it was time to cut off the gloves with Whoopi Goldberg. That's a fair point for Joe Rogan to say.
That women don't want to be spoken down to. Gay folks don't want to be spoken down to. Straight folks don't want to be spoken to. People don't want to be spoken down to. They don't want to be made fun of. Get a better gig. If you're a comic, be funnier. Find a different way than to come after people because of their heritage, which they are born into. It is not a choice. You are who you are.
Right.
And here you're going to make all kind of fun. People said no more. We're tired of that.
Are we tired of it? That's what we're going to get to, because they're only tired of it for one side. She didn't say anything about how the left has made fun of and torn down traditional evangelicals, traditional Catholics, stay-at-home moms, homeschool kids, anyone who wants to go for anything that's tradition or biblical or conservative. They call them hateful. They call them Nazis. They say that everything that we do, we're only against certain things out of a root in hatred. So I don't buy this people are over it stuff. We didn't start this. You guys did, and it's ramped up, frankly, from the time that Trump came on stage. You guys went completely ballistic, hateful.
That's why people are saying, right there, you heard the women say, listen, what we heard at that rally should be enough to shake folks awake, because he's talking about you, all of you.
And here, this is where the lack of empathy goes. As soon as I make an insult on someone else or make a point on someone else, my first thing is, well, what about me? She should be thinking right away what was said at the Kamala Harris rallies. again, about men not wanting to vote for her, or about our stands that we take on protecting our families against the trans issue, or even, we've heard it all the way back to 2008. Name the social issue. They say that you're against women. You want to control women's bodies. So I'm only saying I'm not going to unilaterally disarm and say, I will no longer say anything negative about you. No, instead, we do all this whataboutism to each other. It's not all you can do, but it is to prove that they're not being genuine about their claims. I might be disingenuous on this claim, saying I want to get over this hateful rhetoric. Fine, but only because, like I said, I don't want to unilaterally disarm. We will at some point have to forgive each other and unilaterally do something to reunite, but they are not going to be the ones that come over and unite with us. So our side cannot come over and concede ground and unite to them, because they'll walk all over you. They'll take away your rights. They'll throw you in jail for your speech.
Being deported. No, he's going to deport you and put the white guy with someone else. The man is out there.
There goes the white guy, deporting illegals, white guy. That's her idea of people are tired of the hatred. Whoopi, they're tired of your hatred.
He's just this crybaby with this complex of victimhood, right?
And now comes the victimhood. Who plays the victim more than the Democrats, including marginalized people, that they need our help, about Trump being a racist. That message went straight out to blacks and Latinos. So again, I'm going to do whataboutism here. It's getting old, but it's like, you don't care about Trump being a whiner or playing a victim. Your entire party is rooted in whining and victimhood.
Here he is, this billionaire, supposedly, there's that. All he does is bitch and moan and complain and whine and nag.
Complain, whine, and nag. What if I said that about women? All you do is bitch and moan and complain and whine and nag. Can you imagine? Like, they have no introspection. And she's complaining about billionaires. He's a billionaire. Oh, yeah? Which rich, white billionaires in Hollywood and big tech, most of them are going for Kamala. Okay. So again, even their claims against his billionaire, whatever evidence they're trying to do against him, the bottom line is they just hate him. They just hate us. And then they go out and try to find reasons to back up their hate. And yes, I could be completely blind and purely making a point about you and ignoring the plank in my own eye. But I've never heard you guys say that. So maybe I'm one step ahead of you on introspection and empathy.
He's a very small man. He's a very small
Well,
man.
fortunately, I don't know how small he is, but I know he's not big enough to be president.
Okay, make fun of his junk size now. That's how, you know what that's like? You know what the equivalent to that is if you did that to a woman? You couldn't even put it on the air to demoralize someone that way. So, I'm not buying it that you guys are the critical thinkers and careful with your words.
Making fun of him is punching down now, because it's just too easy, So this is not our focus. Our focus is making sure we get the right person in the right job to lead the country out of this malaise that we're all in. Everybody's pissed.
Thank you for admitting that there's a malaise. Those are Jimmy Carter words. They called it the malaise. That's Kamala Harris's fault if there is a malaise. And they're going like, we're punching down now. We're not going to do that anymore. Oh, yeah. Other than the last 5 minutes of what you just did, making fun of the size of his junk, saying he's bitching and moaning. Other than that, we are not going to punch down. Oh, we believe you, Whoopi.
All the time. People are they're walking down the street and you can see it, and people don't understand why they're feeling like this, because that's not them. In part, it's what we've been what they call it, trauma. Yeah. We've been in trauma
for years
now.
Now here I'm going to find an agreement with the argument. I'm going to apply it to her side also. I think both sides feel trauma. We are tired of what they do, say, and think about America and against America. But my mind, I'm a creative person. It's not hard for me to project that into your side and see that you guys feel trauma and feel like what the other side is doing is personally hurtful to you. We get it. We're on the same side on that one. We just disagree with who's doing the abuse.
And I'm hoping that with this next election, we will have a breather and get back to the people's business. That's what I want.
Again, nothing but agreement on that. I love ending on agreement with the view. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree also on getting ready to overcome the last 4 years and move on to a new America. I'm Doug in exile. How do we unite?